Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, Divine Messenger, a Star Seed, an Earth Angel, hybrid. I felt to put that out there for some of you that may not have known, okay, that you very much can be a hybrid soul, right, where we've had carnations and multiple places in the star system. We came here and descended from the heavens. You've also been in other star systems, right? So that's what I mean for some of you. You know, that's why you're here. You're in this world, but you're not of this world, okay? And that's why it can feel so dense and so heavy here, right? Especially, you know, because where I'm from, there's no dark energy. There's no greed. There's no hate. There's no envy. There's none of that, right? So for some of you, you may have been labeled throughout your life or had people try to tell you like, wow, you're really gullible. You're really naive. You're really this, right? And that's for a lot of you, like you've had to really toughen up. You've had to really, you know, learn how to create those boundaries and stand up to people, right? Because it might have been very challenging for you to do so because it's something that needs to be done here, right? But it's about harnessing that power, right? And learning how to use your shadow side, your dark side. Well, for a lot of us, like we needed to establish those things, right? Okay, wow, I don't know if I felt to go on that. So anyway, like I'm feeling this very magical energy today. Happy 7/7 gateway. Portal energy is this is a very, very powerful time that's opening with our star, with the Sirius gateway, right? And the alignments. So, you know, I've been feeling this energy coming through. I've literally went through 7 ascensions and upgrades since like, just let's just say in the last 24 hours. So for some of you, you could be feeling that this is a major time of like things coming online and activating. Maybe for some of you, you're feeling to clear out your energy field or doing different things to cleanse your energy in your space, right? But it's a very, very powerful time to be very high vibrational, to be thinking about what you want to create, right? As this is the time within these portals and gateways are open for you to astral travel, for you to reach higher levels, okay? For you to really upgrade at this time. So I was feeling a lot of galactic energy coming through. I pulled the Galactic Star Tarot. I'm going to get into, I've got the Lyrans and the Beyond Lemuria deck, which it's been a little while since I've used my Oracle cards, so I'm excited. When I was connecting with this energy, I already pulled one of the Lyran cards and I wanted to read it. Okay, so I'm just going to get started there. I thought it was very significant because as we're integrating these energies and we're collapsing timelines and realms. We're bridging, for a lot of us, like we're bridging and collapsing these these realms. It's either going to make sense to what I'm talking about or it's not, okay? And that's fine. Take whatever's for you. So anyway, like for some of you, maybe you've been astral traveling and moving through these different realms and connecting, like you're going to realize that more of them are just going to be opening up to you because we're merging these. Okay, so anyway, let me just get into this card. So Middle Earth Dragon was the card that came out. Okay, and it's about mind opening. Hold on a second, I gotta put this in. Okay, so when this card, the Middle Earth Dragon, arrives, it's saying that your elemental family on Earth is seeking for you to connect with them. In addition to the dragons, we open to any ultra-dimensional species contact, with examples that are not limited to gnomes, elves, pixies, fairies, Sasquatches, etc. That maybe ancient cultures have spoken on Earth, honoring cultures. You will find the more you connect with various Middle Earth beings, the more you will understand the secrets of existence, root to the Middle Earth, and allow these sacred transmissions to come through with deeper truths received, right? So for some of you, you could be getting flashes, you could be getting these downloads, remembrance, okay? Fresh air, ley line practices. You should be getting outdoor and in nature and things like that, connecting. Some of these you can get like flashes and downloads, and for some of you, it might be opening up too where you can see these different realms and stuff, okay? Maybe for some of you haven't been able to access different realms and things like that, and those could be things that are coming online for you. Okay, so through dragon contact from an energetic perspective, the human psyche begins to connect many dots for each species and acts as a puzzle piece that reveal the greater story of creation. This means that the dragon race is seeking to serve your evolution and awaits for the day that your people return back to the multidimensional way of operation, like in the past times. Fortunate the process has begun in large numbers throughout each one of you. So the human begins to open up into the dimensional fields by fine-tuning their awareness through inner exploration and various starseed training. Certain species operate on such a high vibrational frequency. For many of you, it's simply impossible to connect with them on the physical plane at the moment. When you begin to train your awareness in this multidimensional field, you can begin to experience these species. Like for some of you, you needed to raise your vibrational frequency to different levels just to be able to connect, right? For some of you, you could have had certain people, certain situations that were in your world or in your life that were blocking you from being able to connect to these. That's why I said like certain dark, dense energies were literally like keeping me bound to this 3D realm, which were not allowing me to get into the 4 and the 5 and the higher realms that I access and bring this information, downloads, messages, guidance through, right? Like, for some of you, like a lot of these relationships, people, situations, like they were falling off. There's been tower moments that have been happening that have been knocking these down, right? For some of you, it's you, too. You making these changes, these decisions, right? By eliminating certain situation cycles and patterns, you recognizing them, you blocking them out, you know, that's allowing for them to close off, right, for these integrations to happen. I don't know why, like, I'm reading it backwards, too. I'm not reading it in order. Maybe things are happening, like, out of order for you. Deep within the earth rests a central core that serves as the nucleus in this planet's vitality. Just as your body has much more to it beyond the skin levels, so does your earth. Contains hidden secrets which are unknown to many of the collective population. Traveling through these deep chambers into the Middle Earth reveals the homes to many ultradimensional beings who are already in contact with us, the intergalactic councils. Tuning into the soil may begin to send some of these beings who have resided on Earth far longer than humankind. And particularly, we speak of the dragon species that predate your solar system's birth, arriving into the Milky Way originally via Andromeda. These dragons possess within them advanced ancient wisdom. The journey of the dragons arriving on Earth is far-reached and wide, but the general story is that many of these beings entered your solar system during times of instability on Orion's belt. At this time, the Orion regime was in a full-scale galactic war that eventually breached into the Vega Lyra and resulted in our people fleeing to Sirius B. These were the core's dark times for the universe at large and resulted in mass migrations of various root races, including us and the dragons. Humanity begins to find great empowerment by connecting with these gentle yet powerful dragon beings. Through the acknowledgement of their presence, they shall soon return to the surface world to reveal their advanced knowledge with awe. Wow. I feel to keep reading that even though I think I just read this part. I'm not sure though. Certain species operate on such a high vibrational frequency, for many of it's simply impossible to connect with them on the physical plane at this moment. When you begin to train your awareness into the multidimensional field, you can begin to experience these species. The metaphor we relate to seeing them is similar in the spirit world to the current era. Some are capable on your planet of seeing loved ones that have passed away, while others cannot. Simply, some instruments on Earth can detect the flowing of oxygen and map it in as it flows, while others have no idea it exists from a visual perspective. We provide these examples as there are many fields of experience in this grand universe. So anyway, there's something about that. You're going to be realizing that you're able to access certain things. For some of you, like I said, some of these beings are trying to connect with you. So this is a very, very powerful interesting time as the veil is the thinnest. Alright, anyway, let's get some more cards. Where was that? Yeah, the Lyran Oracle. So that was just the first one that I got when I was connecting. It was interesting too. I started while I was doing my invocation and just already starting to connect. I pulled that card. So I wanted to read it. So anyway, let's get some more on the 7-7 energy. boundaries. I just seen boundaries, and then here it is on the bottom. So for some of you, having these strong boundaries is going to be very beneficial, right? No is yes to self-love. Always remember that. This is a very, very powerful time of embodying that self-love, right? And realizing that a lot of things, you need to realize, like, a lot of people could literally have been, like, hijacked, okay? Like your loved ones, if they have woundings and things like that, they can be getting hijacked and used by the dark matrix here to block you and stop you. That's why it takes, you know, being able to block those out, and even those that are closest to you, if they're blocking you and stuff, right? Alright, so healer found, regeneration, health, empowerment, and vitality. For some of you, you've just been found. Some of you, you were being heavily weighted down and hidden. And then we have numerology, finance, increase, sacred geometry, and spiritual science. Alright, let's get into these. So let's start with healer found. Within yourself is an access to your own healer, a playground of conscious awareness that is able to direct pranic life force and regeneration of any part of your being. In your current day reality, we observe that there is a lot of misleading information to take one away from the healer within. Due to many corrupt practices from our vantage point, humanity has been led to rely on external sources with agendas as their main source for curing illness. We have found that these sources in particular working with medicines that lead to more side effects than the illness, such as false solutions that guide humanity away from their own self-empowerment master. As your star family, we seek to guide you to your highest potential, and this journey begins with your conscious relationship to your body. Through the development of one's sensitivity, the human begins to interact with their bodies, planning mechanisms, and gain access and direct in the way of their choosing. This process starts through self-awareness to the sense of the body's internal frequency. Once you begin to sense the various pulsations and rhythm within your physical body, you can advance to decoding these sensations as a form of communication from your subconscious to your physical template. The self-awareness is not simply understood through thought form, although it can be utilized, but it is more importantly accessed through the power of one's breath. Your breath is the foundation of your body and how it sends signals to its internal resources. Specific breathing patterns, for example, that are shallow and rapid, redirect much-needed resources into protection mode and can soon invite various forms of disease due to pranic life forces not being evenly distributed. On the other scale, a rhythmic, natural diaphragm breathing that's slowing your heart rate and allowing for you to pull of resources to be allocated and where it's needed most. Essentially, to nature, the way that one breathes is how one individual directs the body's regeneration. Through relaxed, deep breaths, one is able to access the gates of the subconscious and begin to consciously guide the body using breath as communication. Whoa. That's really powerful. Oh my gosh. Like, if you know, like, that's why, like, whenever, like, you're very, very stressed, okay, or you're angry, you start to take those deep breaths. Like, you already know you're starting to slow down your blood pressure. You know, I always thought it was like that's when you're asking for help, you're calling in your angels, right? Because when you're in fear or anger, when you're breathing very, very fast and very rapid, you can't connect, right? That's why I've always known, like, I've got to slow my breathing down, right, to be able to connect with my angels and things like that. So, wow, I had no idea that you could really redirect. Wow, okay. Okay, so the card of the healer found arrives when a part of yourself is seeking to become more fully activated in its healing abilities. Tune into your awareness and observe how you are breathing or communicating with your body. Begin to make a practice of observing the way you breathe through the day, making a commitment to engage in your natural deep breathing. Inhale into the gut region and into natural rhythm and begin to establish your field. Pay attention to how you communicate with your body. Become the leader of your body's health. Just like I feel to say, like, don't, like, I even tell my children, like, don't ever say, like, you're sick. Charlie, what do I tell you to say when you're not feeling well? Say, what do I say?
Healing.
I tell them to say, I'm healing. I'm healing, right? You don't want to be saying and projecting that towards your body, and like you can really talk to your body and different parts and different things. You want to say that you're healing. You want to be thinking, you know, you need to remember that you are creating the energy that you're putting out into your body, into these things. So you need to be very, very careful, like what you're saying, what you're creating, what you're telling yourself, right? So it sounds like for some of you, you're going to start to realize how powerful your words are, that you're able to heal your body of ailments and things. And when you heal your body, that, and for some of you, like, that's a big limitation, right? If you have things wrong with your body and things like that, or you're feeling as though you do, that really limits your life force energy. So for some of you, like, you're getting into optimal health because you're taking control over your body, your physical vessel, right? And when that is high vibrational and fully active, so I really feel like that's why, like, I was targeted, and I was why, like, I was poisoned and stuff and got very ill, because I don't know if I explained along in here what happened, but that's literally what happened to me, where I was down. And I don't know where it happened or whatever, but it was really challenging for me, because it was like I wanted to heal my body naturally. I didn't want to have to take medications and stuff, but it came down so fast, and then but I know that there's more natural ways and things, but I felt like it was a big test. And I even stopped medication. I was like, nope, I'm going to go natural for the second part. Like, I'm not going to be taking the pharmaceutical drugs and everything prescribed to heal my body, right? But I felt like it was a big test. For some of you, you could be finding out that, I know that that's been going on in the collective and stuff. Like, we know they've been poisoning our foods and everything and stuff. And, maybe because I was talking so heavily about it, that's why I had gotten poisoned. I don't know if it was directly by somebody that knew me, or if I was just targeted. But I've never experienced that before, whatever. So anyway, so, but maybe this got you, sometimes it takes those situations too, certain things, for you to realize, to reclaim your power, your strength, to take control, right, over your vessel, right? So for some of you, you're finding this out, right? Maybe cleaning up how you're eating too may also be a signal for a good time to engage in cleaning the diet, drink plenty of water, and allow your system to regenerate and rest. Inner mastery, raising the frequency, optimal physicality, and healthy diet. Okay, let's go into numerology, financial increase, sacred geometry, and spiritual science. We want to speak to you today on the influence of numbers in your reality, and how to harness the power of numerology to advance your life path. When the universe is broken down from a level of degree, angles, and sacred geometry, certain numeric patterns begin to reveal themselves in consistent repeat in everything. Stars, for example, are aligned in precise mathematical distances, not through mere chance, but by the natural alignment of sacred geometrics that are found in the macro and the micro levels of existence. Our Lyran society, which is not just comprised of the white lions, but of many other species, including the humanoid felines within the Gamma Lyrae, they also hold a high interest in the knowledge of mathematics and numerology. Through our upbringing in logical learning societies, we have gained the wisdom of honor and the sacred geometry and numerology found in all. These sacred geometric signatures are a pathway to unification that can be found in creation. Many of the starseeds at this time have begun to pay attention to certain numerological sequences deemed angled numbers on clocks, license plates, various technology. But we want to take the step further to explain that you can not only receive numbers as a sign that you're on the right path, but you can also use these powers of numbers to consciously influence the thought field around you. I know I've been seeing in the collective that some of you have been feeling, though, you need to go beyond these sequence numbers that you're seeing. For some of you, you feel as though seeing these number sequences are just merely confirmations that you are in alignment and things like that. So this is really a time to learn how to access those, to utilize those numbers, okay? To really take the life force energy to use those frequencies that you are being given. The important The empowerment begins by paying attention of how certain numbers impact your energy field. You can start by thinking of the number 5 and become aware of how the thought of this number affects your energy field. Then contemplate on the number 8 and once again sense what occurs. Continue this process with various numbers to understand that just like colors in your environment, numbers too impact your field even from a thought level. As you begin to experience numbers from the vibrational level, you will be given blueprints of the numbers that serve your energy field at the moment. Through this uncovering, the fun then begins as you begin to embed these power numbers in all aspects of your daily life. Say, for example, you want to generate extra income in your bank account. Through your awareness on what numbers bring a heightened sense of abundance, don't just follow books, but find out what works specifically for you. You may feel into a certain sequence of numbers, for example, that you can associate with your bank deposit. Another example is if you're feeling off balance and you need some calm, healing energy in your life, contemplate on the numbers that bring peace to your spirits. And once discovered, begins to consciously embed these numbers into your thought form and awareness. Although they may sound a little unique to the human collective, since numbers have been taught to not be alive or hold vibration, we share the empowerment so you may utilize numerology as another tool for your life on Earth. The arrival of this card can also indicate that you are now in a field of abundance, prosperity, and material wealth. Now is a good opportunity to follow business opportunities, new pathways, and receive a full material wealth you deserve. Wow, so this is really powerful. Magical abundance, a multiplication of resources, financial increase, sacred geometry, yogic postures, and spiritual science. Wow, this is really beautiful. All right, I forget how tired I get when I read because there's so much energy that's packed into these cards. Okay, but let's get a few tarot. I'm at 21 minutes. I have 30 minutes available for this reading. So I'm going to be doing some other readings off the 7/7 portal energy, like the sun is on the bottom. I'll give you something significant with sunflowers. Look at those, right? Look like 3 suns here, but they're different planets. And I went right to the Emperor. Alright. So if you like the Lyran teachings, okay, I'm going to be doing more of those, and I'll label them the Lyran transmissions. Because I've got to keep those separate because they're very high vibrational. Like I said, and they're not for everyone, but I felt with being a portal, I wanted to bring it back in and introduce the Lyrans, oracles, and messages. As the Lyrans are definitely my star family. Wow. The Tower is here next to the Chariot. That's very beautiful. And the Ace of Cups is flipped here. Wow. It's definitely, you know, and the Chariot's like your Merkaba, taking control of your physical vessel. Like for some of you, you're taking flight. You're definitely soaring, reaching higher levels of ascension, reaching these higher level dimensions. Queen of Discs is coming out here. So that Ace of Cups flipped. Wow. I love how the hand's coming through the water, through the sky, right? Like a portal. And there's crystals all over that card. 10 of Wands coming out with the Ace of Wands reversed and the 3 of Swords. That's interesting too, showing the shattering. I was watching a rose getting frozen. It was like a dessert that was getting created for somebody where the rose was getting frozen and then they shattered the rose into pieces. Okay, I don't know, that's standing out to me, and then seeing the heart shattering. Like for some of you, like there's something about that. Like something needed to like freeze up, but it's being like shattered and like getting brought alive. Like for some of you, you needed to experience some sort of heartbreak, but it's like it's turning out to be something very, very beautiful, right? And very freeing. Like for some of you, it's like maybe you got your heart broken, but it's to save your soul, Okay, it's to set you free from something, because there's some of you, you were under like some, and look, at now they're showing me there's a frozen pine trees. The things are frozen, and the sun is coming in and melting the ice. And an emperor again. So for some of you, like, yeah, you went through extreme pressure, but something is shattering, okay? Maybe you were dealing with the King of Cups, okay? Because the King of Cups is right here in the Page of Swords, or a King of Cups is like gathering information, not wanting to let you go. For some of you, there's a strong King of Cups energy here. And this Emperor, but there's a Seven of Swords behind the Emperor here. And this one's interesting. It's a ship. And look at those swords getting sucked up here. But there's a King of Discs here too. There's a lot of people in your energy, whoever this is. I feel that some sort of strategy or plan needed to be figured here. I want to see what the Ace of Wands reversed in here is. This deck, it's the retrograded meaning. The reverse is difficult to figure out. What is that you want to create right now? In order to move forward from being uninspired to motivated, you need to first figure out what you deeply desire and where your passions lie. So that's the message, right? But it's like you have the Ace of Cups here and the Ace of Wands, but there's this message with, like, for some of you with the Ten of Wands, seeing the Knight of Wands and the Empress. Yeah, we got the Emperor and the Empress out in this reading. This is definitely a powerful time for twin flame unions. Let me tell you what, a lot of the blockages and people that have been in the way of these relationships have been closed and cleared out. But let me go back to the original message that I was giving. So for some of you, like, love, a certain type of love was very, very burdensome. Ten of Wands. Okay, so for some of you, like, you went through a love that broke your heart. It was so heavy and so burdensome for some of you. And even coming out of this, it may feel like, why was I even in a relationship? Like, why was I even pursuing love for it to hurt and break me open this much? But you need to realize that it was not the type of love that it was lessons. It was, you needed to go through something to break your heart open. Do you not see? I don't know if I'm explaining this to the level of impact that's needed here. It's like for some of you, like, your heart was like frozen, okay? So it's like you were incapable of receiving real love. So you almost needed like catalyst love, but you needed like harsh love just to get you to break your heart open, for you to activate that love, for you to love yourself. Okay? So basically you were shown what love was not, just to get you to break open, to realize, no, I am not going to be in this. I'm going to love myself. And when you do that, it just activates everything. Because then when you start loving yourself and you're in this energy of giving yourself love and how good that feels, it's like you're activating your heart. For some of you, it's like you're getting your heart chakra activated for the first time. You're feeling your heart. You're feeling love for the first time. So you don't even know what real love feels like. You're starting to feel what it feels like to love yourself. Right? For some of you, it's because you've been just, your entire life has been nothing but showing you like love with conditions, love with like not real authentic love. So for some of you, like, you're transmuting that pain, you're breaking down. So ultimately it's like these lovers were meant to come in to do just what they did, to break your heart open, to shatter your heart. Because, you know, having heartbreak like that actually made you feel something. It almost like that's what was needed to break the ice and the coldness off of your heart. Do you know what I mean? It actually gave your heart love. You know what I mean? Through the pain. So that is what's been happening here. And that's why things integrate so fast, because it's like when you start loving yourself, the vibration and the life force that you're pulling in to love yourself, and then with divine coming in, because everything that's been done has been seen, and having to do with the alignments, it's like you're magnetizing these things to you. Wow, this is beautiful. I love how they're explaining this. I love what they're showing me too. You know, like that.